Hey guys, welcome back to another makeup tutorial. Today we're going in with the Cover FX Custom Infusion Drops in the scent Lavender. I really like these for underneath my primer. It just helps like my foundation go on more smoothly. And then I'm just taking the Too Faced Hangover RX Primer and I'm mixing it with my Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector in the shade Moonstone. Just so I get like a nice luminous sort of glow. And then I'm going in with my Anastasia stick foundations. First I'm applying the shade Warm Natural and then I'm going in with the shade Beige. I just like mixing these two because Warm Natural is a little bit too dark when my fake tan's wearing off and Beige is like a little bit light, so I just mix them to get like my perfect shade. You guys know I've been really into this foundation lately, and applying an oil before I go in with the foundation just makes it so beautiful and just perfect for my skin type. And then I like to go in with the Tatcha Luminous Dewy Skin Mist and I just spray my Kabuki F80 brush from Sigma with the spray, and I feel like because there's like a lot of oil in that spray, it just really helps blend this foundation out so seamlessly. So if you guys are having a hard time with the stick foundation kind of sticking to like dry patches and just not blending out so seamlessly, definitely try this. Any kind of like oil or anything you add to it is just really going to help blend it out, and it's really just been my go-to lately. And then I'm contouring as well with the same stick foundation. This one is in the shade Fawn, and again you guys will just see me going back in with that same Tatcha Luminous Dewy Skin Mist, and I'm just using it on my F05 brush from Sigma, and yeah, I'm basically just doing the same thing. It just helps blend it out and just makes it a little bit easier for me. I like to do my contour before my concealer because I feel like the concealer helps clean it up. Today I'm using the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer in the shade Fair Neutral and Light Medium. I just mix these because I don't have the perfect shade for my skin tone, so by mixing them I kind of just get a shade that works for me and isn't too light or too dark. And I'm just blending that out with my Sigma 3D HD Blender. Seriously, my favorite beauty sponge ever. I went back to my beauty blender the other day and it just felt so weird and like spongy, and I don't know, it's just there's a big difference between them that I didn't realize there was before. And then I'm going in with my Laura Mercier Secret Brightening Powder and I'm just lightly baking underneath my eyes. And then while I'm letting that bake, I'm going in and doing my brows. So today we're using some Benefit brow products. So first I'm going in with my Gimme Brow. This is in the shade number 3. As you guys can see, comes out a little bit heavy sometimes, so going with a light hand, but I basically just use this to map out where I have brow hairs, not that there's that many. And then I go in with my Precisely My Brow in the shade 3 and I just fill them in, and then I go back in with the Gimme Brow just to, you know, fluff up those hairs a little bit more. And that is pretty much it for my brows in this video. Then I'm going in and setting my face just with my Laura Mercier Translucent Setting Powder. And I'm just using my Sigma F10 brush to basically just set the shiznit out of my face. We're then moving on to the eyes, taking the Modern Renaissance palette from Anastasia Beverly Hills. You guys know this is my fave. We're taking the shade Raw Sienna on my Sigma E40 brush. Just buffing that into the crease as our transition shade, starting to build those shadows, and then on the lower lash line doing the exact same thing, but we're going to use the smaller E45 brush, and yeah, just, you know, just fucking wing that shit out. We're then taking the shade Realga and I'm just using my Sigma E35 brush. Pretty much the same as the E40, except it's just a little tiniest bit smaller. And I'm basically just doing the same thing, blending that into the crease and further creating definition. I just like to go in with a lighter shade first, because if I went in with this shade first, it would kind of be like, well, that's a lot fucking orange. And then we're just taking the same E40 brush and doing the exact same thing to the lower lash line. I do like to go back in a few times and just build up the definition and the depth, make sure everything is like kind of blending nice and seamlessly. And you guys see me taking my E35 brush and blending my lower lash line. I'm super chill with my eyes. I kind of just use whatever the hell brushes are there at the time and, you know, just kind of mesh everything together. Then taking the shade Love Letter on my Sigma E25 brush. This one is just a little bit more tapered, and it's kind of like someone got the E35 and just like squashed it, so it gets really nice into the crease, and you can also pack onto the outer corner of the eye, which is what I am doing here, and then going back in with the E35 and just blending everything out so it's nice and seamless. Then on the lower lash line, I'm taking that same Love Letter shade on my Sigma E20 brush, and we're just packing this really tightly to the lash line so we get it really smoked out and intense, and just make sure you guys connect that in the outer corner so it's really seamless. Then taking the shades Red Ochre and Venetian Red, I'm just mixing these together just because I want like the warmth of Red Ochre, but I want the like pink sort of pigment of Venetian Red. So just kind of mix them, make my own little custom shade. And we're just using the Sigma E36 brush to apply this tightly into the crease, and then going in with the Sigma E25 to blend that out seamlessly. And you guys see me go back and forth a few times until I get the pigmentation that I'm looking for. We're then going in and cutting that crease. You know how it is. We're using the Sigma E56 brush. It's like a concealer type of brush, and I'm literally just using my Tarte Shape Tape from earlier. This is the shade Fair Neutral, but it doesn't matter what shade you use. And we're basically just creating a half cut crease, stopping like where the pupil sort of sits, and then going in with our finger to blend that out and make sure everything's seamless. And then I'm just going in with this teeny tiny little brush. This is the Sigma E47 with nothing on it, and I'm just using this to diffuse the outer corner so it's more like an ombre kind of effect. And then I'm just taking that same brush with the shade Tempera from the same palette, and I'm just using that to set the eyelid to make sure nothing moves around and I don't get any creasing because my eyelids crease like a motherfucker. And then we're going in and creating our negative space liner. So this can be a little bit freaky at first. I remember the first time I tried it, I was like, how the hell do I even do this? But if you just literally create a wing with concealer, it's so much easier rather than trying to like stop the eyeshadow from going in that negative space. If you guys get me, it's kind of like a foolproof way of doing it. So literally just create a winged liner using concealer. It's actually so much easier than using like eyeliner, because you can always kind of cover it up if you stuff up. I would recommend using an actual eyeliner brush. I was being lazy and I literally just used the same brush that I cut my crease with. And then I'm going in with a tiny little eyeliner brush, and I'm just taking a mix of those burgundy shades that we used on the eyelid and just placing that on the inner third of the eye to create our ombre negative space kind of effect. Then taking this shade that my damn finger is over and I can't read it, I'm applying that to my inner corners on my Sigma E30 pencil brush. Any little tiny brush will do. And then we're going in and just adding a really thin line of black liner, just so when we apply our lashes it's more seamless and there's no like weird lines. And today I just used the New Balance Australian Mist lashes, and you guys can use Kasey Rayton to get 20% off any New Balance lashes. I seriously highly recommend them. I love them. We're then going in and finishing off the rest of the face. Just a few little tweaks. You thought it was done, but it wasn't. Wouldn't be a K-Ray toot if we didn't add 1,000 layers of bronzer to our face. So we're just using the ABH Anastasia Beverly Hills Powder Contour Kit. I'm just taking the orangest shade from the palette. I can't remember the name for the life of me. And I'm just giving myself a bronzer helmet because, you know, it's a real part of my life. You guys know it's a freaking struggle. I can't live without it. And then I am going to take the Nicole Guerriero Glow Kit from Anastasia. I'm obsessed with this right now. It is incredible. I think I used the shade Glow Getter, but I can't be sure. I probably mixed a couple. But any of the shades in this palette are just amazing. And I'm just using my F06 brush to apply that from Sigma. I forgot to tell you guys as well, Kasey Rayton will get you guys 10% off Sigma. I'm the worst. I always wait till like the end of the video to mention it because I just forget. Then just to finish off the lips, I just made a custom shade from the Anastasia Lip Palette. I will leave details below of the shades that I used because I wrote it down but I don't know where I put it. So yeah, all details will be in the description box down below. To finish everything off, I went in with the Kat Von D setting spray. and that shit is really, really good. If you're looking for a setting spray, highly recommend. It's such a fine mist and it's like so good. Lasts all day. But yeah, that's it, and I will see you guys in my next toot. I love you. Goodbye.